There are a ton of indie games on the Xbox Marketplace, PSN, Steam, and Nintendo eShop. And a lot of those games, honestly, I couldn't tell you 95% of what they are, who developed them, or where they even came from. And maybe that's a good problem to have, that we have that many people wanting to be game developers. Or maybe it's a bad problem. We got a Steam code for Gaucho and the Grasslands, and we took a look at it, and we want to share our honest thoughts with you on how we feel about it. I'm Craig with Out of Control Games. This is our review, Gaucho and the Grasslands. So what is Gaucho and the Grasslands? Before we get into any thoughts or feelings about this game, you are Gaucho, and you are doing chores for everybody else. It's a little bit part Minecraft, part survival sim meets... basically, that's it. Just you're doing all those things, collecting items, building things, and you're doing it for other people. And that may seem exciting on the surface, but honestly, if I can now get into what we really feel about this game, it feels like chores the game. Or more, here's people who can do these things themselves. Why am I doing it for them? The game. And that's not to diminish what this game is, just there are a lot of games in this category. And we honestly did not feel like Gaucho and the Grasslands delivered on this. Now, there are several other things now when it comes to why we do not feel very strongly about this game and why we cannot recommend it. For instance, the UI. We did have a developer build, and so it might be different in the final release, but we came across bugs, we came across a few other things that just caused system glitches. We also had a few errors where, honestly, our PC overheated and crashed. And I don't always have that issue. Now, I do have a couple of games that will cause it to overheat and crash. That's more of a me issue. But when I have a pretty standard laptop that's a Intel i7, 32 gigs of RAM, a RTX 3060, I shouldn't be crashing or I shouldn't be overheating on just an indie game running with nothing else running in the background, just this one game. And so not being able to go in and set my sliders and all those sort of things were an issue for. More importantly, was whenever I hit the advance button on the text, I would just blow through the text. So I can honestly tell you, I don't know what this game is about. Except that your grandpa from the spirit world has said, go help people to repair the spirit world, for all I know. And that's not a good thing. I want to be able to tell you what this game is. I want to be able to share the story. But that's one of the biggest issues that is glaring with this, is that not only did I have these errors, but there's a lot of small quality of life features that were completely overlooked in Q&A. More importantly, whenever you're riding the horse, you go to pick up an item, it's also the same button that puts you off the horse. And so I can walk up to an item right next to the horse, go to pick up the item, and I'll get on the horse. It's those sort of quality of life features and things that need to be reviewed, and maybe this need a little bit more time in the oven to bake. I don't know. Maybe I know some developers just don't have the skills to program those things. Maybe somebody need to sit down with this team and say, hey, these are glaring issues, like, instead of a bunch of people praising it for what it is. And I mention that because looking at this game, a lot of people have been praising it for being a game about heritage. Heritage is wonderful. I am all about celebrating history and culture. But if that's all this game does and doesn't become an actual great game to play, then why should I tell anybody else to play it? And so with that said, we honestly are going to end the review here. We don't have anything good to say because our gameplay was limited. And that's because it kept overheating our system and crashing. I couldn't turn down the graphics a lot. I couldn't adjust anything on the back end. Like, it just, some glaring issue, it overheated. But even aside from that, even trying to restart this game 3 separate times, I still could not get into it. I felt like I was doing chores for fully able-bodied people that could do it themselves. Yeah, you were gaining in experience and those sort of things. And there are benefits. You do have skills that do advance, but there's no XP bar for those skills. And that's kind of a glaring issue in itself. I have no way to track my progress as I am playing this game. Yes, I gain more ability to make more advanced items, but I have to run all the way across the map. And the map is kind of in a globe shape, so flat earthers, you're not going to enjoy this game. But that said, there's this fog of war there that reminds me of N64 days, which is its own, yay, I love N64, but we're kind of past those days. So all those things just culminated into a really negative experience for us. Now, if there's other reviews that had better experiences, I would love to share and talk with those reviewers, see like what made those experiences great for them. But for us, we honestly, if we had to rank this game right now, it'd be a fortune cookie. It's a cookie that you get when you get a Chinese meal. You get it, you crack it open, you look at the fortune, you throw it all away. Honestly, the only ones in my house that actually like fortune cookies are our dogs and our 3-year-olds. And that said, I cannot in good faith recommend this for anybody. Now, we have to apologize to the development team as well as the marketing team. We really tried to get this out early on time. We actually had a glaring issue in our home, not just with Thanksgiving, but we had a pipe burst the day before Thanksgiving. And so outside of all the crashes, it just culminated in a time where it's like, okay, we just could not get this out in time. And so our apologies to that team. We definitely wanted to give you a more comprehensive overview of how we thought and felt sooner to its launch. So, but that said, we hope all of you have a wonderful Christmas holiday or whatever holiday you're celebrating this season. And we can't wait to share all the wonderful gift ideas that we have for everybody. We love you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video. We know life's out of control enough. Don't let your game be.